Sean Payton accidentally admits the Broncos are planning for their next QB. What we heard from Sean Payton and George Payton at the Combine, plus Draymond Green laughing about playing against Nikola Jokic. We've got plenty for you. Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for February 27th. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
Oh man, when Sean Payton gets a microphone, you never know what's going to come out of his mouth. Plenty of good headlines that you can check out on denversports.com from Sean Payton and George Payton. And here's just a few that we're going to highlight and talk about on Coffee Break at 12 p.m. So come hang out with us. Sean Payton accidentally admits Broncos planning for next QB. Sean Payton hints at what the Broncos' next QB will look at. Plus, he gives a timeline for the decision on Russell Wilson. Take a listen.
Yeah, so we go through the Combine week here next week. I think Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll be in meetings with ownership. So I expect that we're going to know fairly quickly. I said it's Super Bowl, but I think more specifically, I think somewhere in the neighborhood next week, we're going to. There's a couple factors here. Obviously the cap projections came out. We're further down the road with the draft class. Obviously the pro free agents. So I would anticipate it being within the next 2 weeks.
Now, what about George Payton? What did the GM of the Denver Broncos have to say? First of all, he doesn't expect the Broncos to do much in free agency. I think something we all kind of knew, but they could also trade back from that number 12 spot, which I think gives a lot of Broncos country some nerves. He also said that they will meet with Michigan quarterback J.J. McCarthy tonight, and he doubles down that the Broncos didn't do Russell Wilson any wrong. Last but not least, George Payton says, essentially, that it sounds like Pat Surtain II will continue on with the Broncos. So if you are a PS2 fan, then that will make you happy. Plenty of good stuff over at denversports.com. They're going to be going over all the highlights. Cecil Lammey, Andrew Mason have boots on the ground down there in Indy after talking with them. So make sure you're following them on social media for all of the latest updates. But we will definitely have plenty here on this Tuesday for stuff happening at the Combine. So if you're a wide receiver fan, though, and you're a Tim Patrick fan like myself, then you might be wondering, what's the future hold for Timmy P? He hasn't played in 2 seasons after tearing his ACLs in back-to-back years in training camp. Heartbreaking last year to watch him go down again, thinking no way that could happen again, and yet it does. Well, the Broncos would like Patrick back. He has that type of competitive attitude. He goes, I hate the Raiders. And it's that team-first spirit that is valued in the locker room and meeting rooms. But at a considerably reduced price, a release would come if the two sides couldn't agree on that reduced price. That's coming from Mike Kliss, obviously, with plenty of stuff, and he's hearing things over there. So could we see Tim Patrick back here? Man, I sure hope so. I would love to see that big build be out there on the field and see what they can do with most likely their new quarterback. But I can also see where the Broncos are like, man, you've torn your ACL 2 years in a row. Essentially, we got to figure something else out. Now, Russell Wilson did the I Am Athlete podcast, which caused a ton of headlines. And Chris Harris Jr. responds after saying, after that interview, Russ for sure gone, but it was a great interview, though. If you are a Caleb Williams fan, you might be like, oh, I can't wait to see what he's going to do at the NFL Combine. Well, he won't be showing off his skills this week. The former USC star won't throw or take part in any other drills during the Combine. Instead, he is waiting for USC's pro days. Williams will still be in attendance for his official measurements and a chance to meet with teams one-on-one. And the Combine, if you do not know, gets underway Thursday in Indianapolis. So make sure you tune in. Quarterbacks and everybody else but Caleb Williams, I believe, will be throwing come Saturday. I think there's only a few names out there that will not be participating, and they typically do wait for their pro days. Just a better environment, I think. And I don't know if they all get nervous or they're just worried about being out there, but I do find it interesting that some athletes just choose to not do it at all. Now, Nikola Jokic. He's special. We can all agree on that. But in his last 3 games, he's left sports enthusiasts in awe. 27.3, 16.7, and 15.0. Those are Jokic averages over the last 3 games. He put up 82 points, 50 rebounds, and 45 assists in those 3 games. He's the second player in NBA history to have at least 80 points, 50 rebounds, and 45 assists in a 3-game span, joining the great Wilt Chamberlain, who did so in March of 1968. He's recorded in at least 14 assists in each of those games, which is crazy. And Colin Cowherd talks about the Denver Nuggets and, get ready for it, getting ready for a dynasty. Take a listen.
Perfectly built roster. Get ready for a dynasty. It's not going to be Shaq Kobe dynasty. It's not going to have the drama of the Michael Jordan dynasty or the Heedle dynasty. And we've had some fun ones. But Jokic is the best player in the league without question. Jokic and Murray are the best combo. They have the best starting five, plus minus. Only Boston is close. And Aaron Gordon's length defensively, and Michael Porter can be streaky, but he's gifted offensively. Add in a very well-coached team with just enough depth. They're winning the title.
Get ready for a dynasty. But also, if you want more of Nikola Jokic, the NBA dropped an hour-long Nikola Jokic feature on YouTube on their channel, talking about essentially being the 41st pick and being picked behind a Taco Bell commercial to being an NBA champion. Definitely check that out over on their YouTube page. It all starts again on draft night. Now, Draymond Green, we love when Draymond Green is honest, and post-game, he tends to do his Draymond Green, like the show. And he said that he had 0 answers for Nikola Jokic on Sunday. Take a listen.
Joker 32-16 and 16 gave me complete hell tonight. I've had my fair share of good matchups against Joker. I've given him a little bit of hell on some nights, but he gave me total and complete hell tonight. And I had absolutely no answers. And I'm just going to laugh about it because either you laugh or you cry. And so I'm going to laugh about it. I had absolutely no answers tonight.
Valeri Nichushkin was cleared by the NHL and NHLPA Players Assistance Program to resume practice with the team. This is great news as the Avalanche desperately need one of their star players back. And while he was out at practice yesterday, it was great to see him messing around with the stick. Logan O'Connor talked post-practice about having Val back at practice. Take a listen.
Just getting whole again. Awesome having Val back. We obviously miss him out there, but it's nice for him to get right and get his mind in a good place. So it's nice having him back. We're here as a support system for him, and just seeing him face to face and being able to talk to him a bit more. It is obviously always great to have another guy come back and get healthy and get out there on the ice and start working his way back into the lineup here now.
I think one of the main things that was very clear from both Logan O'Connor and Cale Makar, who also spoke yesterday, was that these guys are men first and then, professional athletes. And so it was nice to see them here. We're happy that he's able to do it. We've been supportive of him. We will continue to be supportive of him, and we're happy to see it. With Sam Girard, he also went into the Players Assistant Program, and he has been absolutely lights out since he's returned. So many will hope that will happen. Now, the NHLPA still has to clear Nichushkin to be able to participate in games, but having him back out there at practice is obviously really good for the entire team. So hopefully sooner rather than later, they can get him back out on the ice for actual game time. But of course, we'll keep you up to date at denversports.com on all of that. Now, Miles and Ryan, they spent the afternoon having some fun at the Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children, talking about video games, drawing, and more. I love seeing this, like the smiles from everybody. And I think it's so cool that the team always, takes some time to go out to the Children's Hospital, to sit down, to talk about video games or anything else, and just be able to hang out with all of these kids who so much deserve to have a little bit of, an extraordinary opportunity to sit down and talk with some of these players. You are tuning in tonight, then you will see the Stars versus the Avalanche. That is a 7:30 p.m. puck drop. This will be a really good matchup. As you can see, both teams with 35 wins on the season thus far. I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully the Colorado Avalanche can get back on track and really start being able to do a serious push for the playoffs. Obviously, they need to be able to probably have home ice. And I don't know how they're going to do it, but it is going to be necessary because their road record, let's just frankly say it stinks. So definitely not good. And now we always tend to announce all sorts of things really, really early. Like I made fun of the MLB commissioner for announcing when he was going to retire in 5 years from now, whatever. Well, the NBA also announced that in 2027, the NBA All-Star Game will be with the Phoenix Suns. So The Athletic reports that the league is finalizing plans to bring the event to the Footprint Center. In case you did not know, the 2025 All-Star Game would be held at the Chase Center in San Francisco, while the 2026 game will be held in the brand new Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. Now, you've probably heard the name Peter King. He is a legendary sports writer, but he is calling it a career. The 66-year-old announced his retirement on Monday in his weekly Football Morning in America column. He wrote, "Who's complaining? Not me. I'm the luckiest man on the face of the earth to write this column for 27 years and to be a sports writer for 44. Well, that'll be something I'm always grateful for." King became a household name covering the NFL for Sports Illustrated with his Monday morning quarterback column. He joined NBC in 2006 as part of the Football Night in America crew. And here's the thing. His final piece was on the top 10 nicest quarterbacks he had the pleasure of speaking with. And atop the list was Peyton Manning. So I absolutely love that. We all know Peyton Manning can be such a people pleaser, and he's so good at all of the things that he does. But I love that he still tops the list for somebody that has talked to thousands and thousands of quarterbacks. And I love that he was able to do that for Peter King. The Bengals made their first big move of the offseason using the franchise tag on wide receiver T. Higgins. The move will pay Higgins a guaranteed one-year salary of $21.8 million. Both sides have until July 15th to work out a long-term contract extensions. He's coming off somewhat of a down year with just 42 catches for 656 yards, as injuries limited him with just 12 games. Higgins is the first player to be tagged this offseason, and teams have until March 5th to use the franchise tag. That's going to be here before we know it. Now, how about a little throwback Tuesday for you? February 27th, 2016, the Avalanche hosted the Detroit Red Wings in the 2016 Coors Light NHL Stadium Series at Coors Field. A total of 50,095 fans attended. That was the first ever NHL outdoor game in the state of Colorado. Plenty of good stuff on this Tuesday. Hey, if you are here in the Mile High City, make sure you are driving safely if you have to go anywhere. It was crazy. It took me literally over an hour to get into the station today, so I hope you guys are all being nice and safe as well. Always love checking out some of your comments. How many lattes did Shawnee P have this morning? That is a great question right there. Obviously, they know what their plans are going to be. They're all moving on from Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson did the I Am Athlete podcast because they know he's going to move on from him and he wants to share his side of the story. So how many did he have? I don't think too many. I think he's just being totally upfront and honest nowadays. Let's see. I'm trying to read some of these comments. Val equals best trade deadline move any team will make. Man, I'm really hoping that he will be able to be out there. I think that he can be so beneficial to this team. But I do think even once he returns to game ice, it's going to take him a little bit to get back in shape. Cale Makar even spoke on the fact that he is going to, take some time to get back into hockey shape and have to get back into it. Once you're away from it from so long, these athletes are in such incredible shape, but it still takes you a little bit of time to get back out there. So I'm really looking for, hopefully, Val to get back out there soon. We need 2 points tonight. Holy smokes, man, they do need some points. The Colorado Avalanche have to get on the board tonight and be able to prove that they are the Colorado Avalanche. Yes, they're still highly talked about, but their road record and what is happening to them on the road is definitely impacting, I think, the way a lot of people, myself included, are looking at this Colorado Avalanche team. So getting 2 points tonight, even though they're at home, will definitely help, I think, calm some nerves from a lot of Colorado Avalanche fans. So plenty of good stuff. Last question. Let's see. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I appreciate this one from Troy. Rachel, I've been gone for a little bit with some changes at work, but what happened to the show? Too short now. Need my RV time. Well, first of all, Troy, I appreciate you hanging out with us, but we've got two shows now. So we want to go over all of the headlines for you guys super fast and easy. That way you can go on to work or whatever you're doing with all the headlines that you need to know and be able to talk about with your coworkers, your family, your friends, whoever. So we have this show at 10 o'clock and then coffee break is still the exact same. We sit down, we talk, debate, whatever it is going to be about a certain topic each day. And that is at 12 p.m. So come hang out with us 12 p.m. today. Of course, we're going to be diving deep into what Sean Payton and George Payton had to say at the Combine. So plenty of good stuff as always. But I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Come hang out with us at coffee break, like I said, at 12 p.m. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for another episode of Denver Sports Daily. Get back to work, everybody. We'll see you later.